So, some absolutely shocking news being brought to us by Bloomberg and Jason Schreier, the foremost newsbreaker. Sony is shutting down Bluepoint Studios, developers of the Demon Souls remake, which they only acquired in 2021. So, obviously, I don't have a Bloomberg subscription. Pretty broke. One day, maybe. So, this is Video Games Chronicle and Andy Robinson reporting the news that was reported by Jason Schreier. So PlayStation's closing down Demon Souls Studios remake studio Bluepoint Games 5 years after it bought the developer. A Sony spokesperson told Bloomberg that around 70 employees will lose their jobs and claimed that a decision was made following a recent business review. Bluepoint Games is an incredibly talented team, and their technical expertise has delivered exceptional experiences for the PlayStation community, the spokesperson said. We thank them for their passion, creativity, and craftsmanship. Bluepoint specialized in remakes and remaster of older games and had a long history of working with Sony. Sony Interactive Entertainment acquired the Austin, Texas-based studio in 2021, following multiple collaborations including God of War Collection, Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, the Echo and Shadow of the Colossus Collection, Uncharted the Nathan Drake Collection, Gravity Rush Remastered, and most recently the 2020 PS5 remake, Demon Souls. It was revealed last year that Sony had canceled a live service game in development at Bluepoint, which was said to have been based on the God of War series. The studio later began hiring for a third-person action game. In a message we posted on Reset Era, PlayStation Studios boss Herman Holtz said the decision was made due to an increasingly challenging industry environment. Rising development costs slowed industry growth, changing player behavior, and broader economic headwinds that are making it harder to build games sustainably, he wrote. To navigate this reality, we need to continue adapting and evolving. We've taken a close look at our business to ensure we're delivering today while still well positioned for the future. As a result, we will be closing Bluepoint Games in March. The decision was not made lightly. Bluepoint is an incredibly talented team, and their technical expertise has delivered exceptional experiences for the PlayStation community. I want to thank everyone at Bluepoint for their creativity, craftsmanship, and commitment to quality. Where possible, we will work to find opportunities for some impacted employees within our global network of studios. While I know this is hard news to hear, I'm confident in the direction we're headed. Creativity, innovation, and building unforgettable experiences for players remain at the heart of PlayStation Studios. When Sony announced the acquisition of Bluepoint in 2021, developers president Marco Thrush said it was, quote, working on original content and that it was the next step in the evolution for us. And following initial reports that it had been canceled, Bluepoint and Bend's live service games last year, a Sony spokesperson stated that neither studio would be closed down as a result of the cancellation. Quote, Bend and Bluepoint are highly accomplished teams who are valued members of the PlayStation Studios family, and we're working closely with each studio to determine what are the next projects, he said in a statement. Bluepoint is the fourth studio PlayStation has shut down in recent years, following Fire Sprite, Neon Koi, and Firewalk closures in 2024. In its most recent earning results, Sony raised both its game sales 4% and operating income 2% forecast for the fiscal year, which ends April 1st. Sony's overall group project is up 22% year over year. So, like I said, this is an absolute shocking turn of events. I think that many people are getting a little bit tired of these live service games. We just saw another one, Highguard, really take a nosedive trying to enter into this space. It's no secret that Herman Holtz has been pushing studios to develop live service games, and I think that's going to backfire, quite frankly. I mean, Horizon, they got Hunters Gatherers coming out. Maybe that'll be good, but I think time could have been better used to be working on a Horizon 3 than a weird spin-off title. And now a team that was known for making great remakes, and I think a lot of people were curious to see what they could have done of their own accord, is shutting down. And it's like, what do you want from these studios, man? They give you good, solid experiences. When they do remake stuff, people generally receive them very well. and then you force them to start working on a God of War live service game, just an absolute ridiculous concept at face value. They do it, you cancel it because you probably realize, yeah, this is not going to work. This is not going to take off the way that we want it to. And then they're like, okay, well, we'll start working on something else. Was it a new project, like a completely new IP, or was it another remake? We'll never know. Well, we'll probably know someday, but we're not going to know right now. But they get closed down through no fault of their own. It's absolutely brutal. It sucks. It makes people not confident in the leadership of Sony in general. And it just sucks. It makes us feel bad because it's an example of a studio seemingly doing everything right, and all of a sudden they're just out because of leadership's decisions. And it makes like all of us kind of relate because we've all been in positions where either the company that we worked for suffered because of bad leadership, or we lost our own jobs because of bad leadership. And it just goes to show that like this obsession with live service games is kind of like a losing cause, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I just don't see it being good. And now I'm worried for Bend. Like, I would have loved to see another Days Gone or another project from them, but now I'm sure that they're going to get closed too. I mean, it sucks, but it just seems to be the way things are going with this obsession with live service games. So I just had to quickly come on and rant. I know this is a weird format, especially if you're watching on Wiki Get Everything. If you're watching on Those Fake Nerds, it's very normal, but what are your thoughts about all of this? Let me know in the comments. This is just a shocking turn of events, as I said. So, anyways, please subscribe on Those Fake Nerds. If you're over there, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers on Wiki Good Everything, trying to get to 2,000. Really appreciate you checking out both of our channels, and I will see you in the next one.